Hey, welcome to the podcast, Tailgate Talk, a different type of outdoor show with some guys just kind of hanging around, shooting the bull, talking about things in the outdoors in the same fashion and manner that you would with friends or family after enjoying any sort of outdoor recreation, whether it's around the tailgate of a truck or on the front porch or around a bonfire. That's kind of the concept of Tailgate Talk, and a lot of stuff we're going to get to this week. First off, we'll lead with our man Paul Wagner. Whether or not he shot a turkey when he was out at his season, was very confident about it. And then we'll get into some of the steps and progressions that any person that is involved in outdoor sports goes through. I feel that there's sort of a progression and steps along the way. Plus, we're going to talk a little bit about why birders can be a bird hunter's best friend. So let's just jump into the show this week. Look at this, boys.
It's exciting, isn't it?
I know. Three people
in
the same room. Man, it has been some time. This is Tailgate Talk. I am host Sean Ritter. Paul Wagner, a.k.a. Wags, the former major leaguer, in studio with us. Also Eric Tasker, my man, at ET. You can find us on socials, at On The Tailgate. As the whole show collectively, I am at On Air Ritter. That's R-I-D-D-E-R. Tasker is at ET5504. First things first, let's start, Wags. You were sending pictures of turkeys. Did you shoot a turkey? Because I didn't get a picture past the first couple pictures you sent.
So I'm waiting for this double beard to come in the whole time we're sitting there. Toms were coming in. Finally, it got to Tuesday, and I said it was 1:30 in the afternoon. I looked. I had to pick up my daughter from school at 2:20, and 2 Toms came in. And I was like, sweet. Okay, I'm going to have to take one. I took the rangefinder. I had them at, I swear, 23, 24. You know, my number kept going 23, 24, 23, 24, 23. And I don't have a fancy one. I set my pin at 25, and I thought, okay. I pulled back, and he stayed right there, and he fanned out, and then he came back down. He went back down to eat, and I went, boom, and it went right over the top of him, about 5 inches. And I laughed, and I was like, how does that happen? Because when we were at Buck Rub, you were Ritter's like this, he's like, ew, boom, he's like, boom, this is easy, he's thumping these things, and I'm like, how in the hell did I just overshoot him?
It's because you weren't standing up. It wasn't what you were used to.
But I was good. No, I was perfect. I was comfortable. I didn't have any problems. I got right there, and I opened up that window. My corner window was wide open, and I shot right over top of him. I have no idea. And then I was like, okay, well, that's fine. They've been coming around. Last day, I'm going to go back out there. Picked up my daughter, came back. I sat there for about 2 hours, because then I had to go back on, I had to go BS with Billy. So I had to go back on the radio at 6:25, and in that 2-hour span, nothing came out, not even a hen. I think they're all sitting around the corner of the edge laughing, I can't shoot his bow.
So you missed no turkey soup for Wags.
No. But I have season 3. This is 3 right now. I got 4 and 6.
Okay.
4 and 6.
All right. So remember what I said the first night when you would text the picture of the birds? Don't pass up on day 1, what you'd be happy to take on the last day. Just wanted to rub
Well, he
that
wasn't
going
to pass on it. He just missed it.
But we have turkey, so it's not a thing. So when I saw the double beard, I got excited. I was like, oh, my gosh, I've never had that. But what I should have done for next time, because I did not prepare myself for the bow like you did, I should have brought, well, it doesn't matter, because even if I would have had the gun, if the double bearder would have been out there, I still would have missed, right? I would have shot over him. But at least I could have grabbed the gun with the double bearder. Yeah.
What I'm wondering, did he move at all? Like you said, you had pulled up your rangefinder, you got him 24, 25, 24, 25. And then you said he fanned out, he put his head back down. Did he move at all? I mean, that's why I wonder any way of that, or your angle that you got him from here, but then you slightly moved where you, I don't know.
He moved a little. No. I mean, like that, like he didn't move forward. So shooting over him, I don't know what I did, but no, he didn't move. Like he was still in that same, he spun a little bit and waited, But I kind of might have lowered my shot. I was more going for just a body shot. You know, I'd rather be safe.
Yeah, my aiming point is always basically trying to hit the base of the wing, where the wing connects to the body. A lot of times, especially when they puff up, you notice how they have like they almost have like a little crease there, almost like a deer does in the corner. Yeah. Just shoot for that hole. Just plug them right in that hole. That's what I always aim for in a turkey.
So I'm thinking maybe when I went down and he was still, but. If I'm at 25, why did I still shoot over him? I don't know. And I just had my bow torqued there, but I shot it a couple times after, so I knew where I was.
And you sent a few arrows down range at a turkey target. So
I don't know. So anyway,
I think
you got all those pictures of toms and hens and all that I sent out, but none of them are in the freezer.
And I'm looking at just going, God, I hope I can see one of those next week when I'm out. So I think you just got to look excited is what happened. I think you got excited, or you use a finger release, not a thumb release. You may have just jerked slightly, which I'm prone to doing that. And that's why I say this, because I've noticed myself do it sometimes. You've been 3D shooting me when I've been out on things and I get on something, and if I don't set right, or I kind of I'll almost move my hand a little bit and I'll shoot high. It's always high. It's never low. It's always high. If I try and, I don't know why or how I do it, and I try and just calm myself and train myself on it, but I've noticed that I do it.
Yeah, because I find that it's always the rhythm of pulling back, and you've got to have that get set, then gently put your finger on the trigger, and then just get into that slow squeeze, because I noticed that, especially when I first started shooting, it was always that I was pulling everything back instead of just pulling the trigger.
That's why.
And then, it's just all those little things that just end up adjusting in just the smallest way. It throws everything off.
And I've always been a guy who shoots right away. I don't sit here and go.
Sure.
I don't sit there. I get here, and when I get there,
it's too long,
then all of a sudden, like I'm like,
overthink it, or
I go. I shoot. So like I do. I fire maybe just maybe I should have waited a little bit. Kind of. No, got up, boom, boom.
And I'm trying to train myself to hold off and wait much longer. Another thing that I've talked about 3D shooting with Tasker before is that my shotgunning comes out sometimes. I feel sometimes I shoot better on the move. So if I draw back, instead of like trying to hold the pin in one specific spot, I can have the pin just kind of bouncing around and moving. Right. And as soon as I think I'm ready, then I just squeeze. Because again, if I'm trying to hold it on one spot, I'm more prone to do that jerk thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm okay to just let my bow just move around, and as soon as I'm ready, and I just boom, and then it just fires, and I usually hit exactly where it is. Or like if I almost pull up and I swing through, and as soon as I get on my target, just let go, it'll hit the spot. I don't know why. It's the shotgunning in me, the duck hunting part that I just am still like can't get that out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may pay off one of these days when you got a running target.
Right, running target. Swing through it. Oh, got it. Hope they're not out of turkey
it's just all about rhythm and routine and just doing it over and over and over again. And I don't know. It's just.
But a lot of birds taken. I had two guys get youth birds, two youths the week before it opened. One boy got his first one, and I don't know if I told you the story or I told those guys. He literally came out for youth deer hunting, and he shot his first doe out of this tree stand, and he sat underneath that tree stand and got his first turkey on the youth turkey hunt. So that was pretty neat. And then
get him a plaque on that tree.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. and then my plumber, he got one first week. He got it right away on Wednesday. So then another guy came back and got one on Sunday. I kind of disperse my opportunities because I don't know the difference between positive and negative for my electricians. The only thing I know about plumbing is it runs downhill. Shit goes downhill. And HVAC, I don't know the difference between an air conditioner and a heater unless I'm freezing my ass off or hot as hell. So, so I let those guys hunt, and then they do work for me and stuff like that. But I missed. And I told very select few that I missed.
Now, millions of people are going to know now.
But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with missing. There's nothing wrong with not being successful. We talked about this last week when we were chatting. And that's, exactly with my YouTube channel, is focusing on that, of just being real with all the stuff when I go out and hunt or fish, that if I don't catch or see anything, I'm real about it and I just show it, because I'm going out in that moment to just showcase what it's like to get out and enjoy the outdoors. I'm hoping to inspire people to do those things, to take up those things, and not be afraid of getting into outdoor sports, outdoor hobbies. You don't always succeed. In fact, 95% of the time you don't. And that's the problem that I have with hunting shows a lot of times and stuff, is they show just the highlight reels. everybody goes out and everybody shoots that double bearded, and so everyone has this weird perception that that's how the outdoors is, and if you don't do that, you're not successful and you suck as an outdoorsman. Not the case.
Right.
So we know you're a good woodsman, right? you got excited. We've all done it. So I applaud you for coming out and saying that you missed it, admitting it, because that's being real. Yeah, it's owning up to it. You know what? I had my chance. I blew it. Millions of people do that every day.
And then once he said it, he goes, keep that for the show. Keep it to yourself. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, we'll talk about it. And then I go to Facebook, and I got Wisconsin Rut Report. I got Rut Report.
And apparently a phone call right now.
And I got Rut Report, and it comes up, and some girl shot a triple bearder. I go, no way. I'm mad that I didn't get my double bearder. I'm going to tell the story I missed. Let's just see what everybody, because I like it when people show it, grandfathers, grandchildren. Yeah. It's really neat. It's a pretty good little site. I like watching it and seeing what they get. And then she has, she got a triple bearder.
That's cool. Now that you say that, I haven't seen any of that stuff come up. It's like the algorithms and everything. It's all you see in the fall because I'm going to that page all the time. It's like I don't even see that anymore. I just get all the Wisconsin fishing pages that I follow and all of that stuff now. But that is nice that they have that on there.
Yeah. A good buddy of mine from back Green Bay area, he's a huge outdoorsman. He's a birder, a photographer. In fact, I've got a couple of photos from him that I've used on some stuff. He was out yesterday, and I think I know the field he was at, but he shot a bird yesterday morning. A beautiful, beautiful bird. And it's one of those things where, he's like, well, it had a big old fat head on it. The beard was pretty long, but it had shorter spurs. And he's like, I don't know. I think it was still probably a 4 to 5 year old bird. You're just how many weeks into it, so it didn't weigh as much. I said, because, think about it. He's out chasing toms and chasing this and that, and he's just cutting weight. He's not getting in the calories for it, so that's probably why he weighed less than, my brother who shot a 26-pounder, a couple years ago. This one I think he said was just over 20, something like that. So it's still a bigger bird. He made an interesting observation. I'm curious if you've ever noticed this, Wags. He set up in his decoys. He sent me a picture of it. He's got a bunch of decoys out in the field. He's got 2 hens, looks like a jake, a feeding hen, 1 strutting tom, but one of his decoys farthest out from him, the head is super white on it. And then he sent me a picture of this bird that he shot, and immediately after he shot it, look how white that head is.
Wow.
So being a birder, again, he sits around and watches birds, and he said this is something interesting that he saw was that for some reason that white head, as soon as this tom showed up and he noticed the white-headed decoy, his face and head turned completely white, and he just bum rushed in on that white head.
Really?
He said, I don't know what it is. It's something I've seen. It's something I noticed. Sometimes these birds get the white head, and he goes, I want to put it out there as kind of a marker that they would, the white would stand out over all the brown, the gray, and stuff like that. And so it's something that he took into account. This flock of birds he had watched, and he shot the big tom that had a bunch of jakes around him. He said for the last week, this tom has been harassing hens and all these jakes. After he shot it, he shows me a video of the tom laying on the ground, 4 jakes coming around, jumping on it, kicking it, pecking at it, like they were trying to get back at their bully. I was like, turkeys are freaking ruthless, man. They are ruthless. Honey badgers don't give a, turkeys don't give a.
Yeah.
But I thought the observation of the white head thing was something kind of interesting, just to kind of maybe think about that in the back of the head next year or your next couple of weeks coming up. And I was like, maybe do I got to change the decoy? Because I've always done typically 1 feeding hen, and for years I've run the killer bee. I think Primos is the killer bee. It's the one where the fan is on it, and I've got a pull cord that runs up the chest, and I run it so I can pull the cord and I can set the fan down or let it go, and the fan comes up. So if there's birds out, I can almost use it as a flag, with geese and a T flag. So I sit there, and from a distance you don't see it, and as soon as that fan goes up, birds will notice that from a far away, and at least I can get them to turn and come in. Not a advertising for Primos, so they've made that decoy for years. I randomly bought it at a Fleet Farm show back, God, I can't tell you how long ago, but I think that thing's always worked for me for bringing in birds.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw at the sports show, a couple of years back they had this new decoy, and it was called the chicken. All it was it wasn't a full body, and I do full body, but I bought one because they were at the sports show, and if somebody knows about it, I think it was called the chicken turkey decoy, and all it was just a stick that went up. All you could see is his head. So what I did is I stuck it in thick grass, so you couldn't see his body, but all you see is his head. So what I think I might do is I'm going to take that head and I'm going to paint it white, and I'm just going to stick it in the brush and just see.
It's an interesting thought.
Yes, because It is. It's called the chicken. Oh, shoot. I'll look it up. It's a chicken decoy or something. And it was not the whole body. Like I said, it's just like this. It just looks like a python or a cobra
over there, showing us his python.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? He doesn't actually have a decoy like that. He just wanted to find an excuse. An excuse to flex and show the python.
There's no muscles there. You're 53 years old. It ain't there.
So you've got 2 more periods left for turkey?
2 more periods, yes. Zone 2, over the counters, and then I actually did get one for the same 6 up by my buddy up in Holcomb, up by Flater's Resort up there, be where the Chippewa and the Flambeau come together, just south of Ladysmith. And if I get time to go up there, I may shoot up there too. But I'm finding out that I like it a lot more watching other guys shoot and get excited and I still want one. I want the double bearder. I want the 30-point buck. I want it all, but I'm starting to get into that rhythm where, man, this is nice. I like to prepare my food plots. I went out and cut them again yesterday, and they look good. The clover's coming up. I'm looking around, and I'm like, this is pretty nice. And then sitting there, and I'm not mad, disappointed I overshot the double bearder, but right? It's I'm starting to enjoy it more as I get older. You enjoy the outdoors, and the kill of the hunt isn't necessarily the main thing. It's the thrill of the hunt.
Right.
And it's
getting out there.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about last week.
I love that you bring that point up because this is something that I've talked about for a while. I feel like in any outdoorsman, there's different stages that you go through. So when you first start getting into hunting or fishing, whatever it is, or something, it's always about then you're in the accumulation phase. You're learning, but as soon as you start getting a grasp of things, then you get into the accumulation. That's when it's all about the numbers. I have to kill something every time, or I have to catch the most fish, or I have to, and you get in this race of this accumulation. And a lot of times, racing against other people. I'm better if I, And then, as you slowly change and transition out of that, you start leaning into. It's more fun to just be out, and then you can even transition into exactly what you said, Wags. It's more fun to watch other people.
Yes.
I can't tell you how that's exactly where I've gotten years ago with duck hunting and taking some guys out and doing some diver duck hunts that we've always done. I have more fun watching other people crush divers that don't hunt divers like we do or haven't had those opportunities. I have more fun watching those people do it than me actually ever doing it. And fishing, taking guys out ice fishing. I'd rather just set everything up. Okay, there.
I had to find it. I had to find the phone. It's called the Funky Chicken. It's called the Funky Chicken.
So just sorry.
Back to the birds. I'm sorry.
Taking people out, setting everything up, and standing back and letting them fish and watching them fish. A lot of times I'll run ice fishing situation, doing tip ups. I love the iFish Pros. So it's basically a tip up, but it's a rod built into it. They take the line, flag goes up, you run and fight it with the rod. I love setting those up, and because anyone can do that. A regular tip up, it does take a little skill to kind of get the fish hooked and know when to, set it and things like that. But a rod and reel, you just close the bail and tighten up, and I run circle hooks, boom, they're set, good to go. Yeah. So just let anybody go out and do that. You want to come fish with me, and okay, well, it's your fish. Run out to it and grab it, and have them catch, decent fish. I had a buddy out a couple years ago, caught a huge pike, and I just was tickled to just watch him fight this pike through the ice, and I'm like, damn, this is what it's about.
You pull through the hole, you can see his face. He's all lit up and excited. Yeah,
you go through these phases, and it's it's cool. I think that final phase. I don't know. Maybe there's another phase, but I'm right there with you. It's more fun watching other people. I want to catch some stuff and I want to go kill a turkey, but I enjoy watching other people succeed and have fun with that too.
I've always felt that way too. I just even think, especially as my dad is starting to get older, my uncles that I've hunted with forever are starting to get older. I've been the last 2 years, I've seen more deer than my dad has. And we're not that far apart from one another. We're like maybe 200 yards apart from one another. And, for me, it's always, I want him to be able to see the deer because I'm okay with sitting out here and not doing anything. But for him, I know he doesn't have that many more years. And not that he's not going to hunt in like 2 years, but he doesn't have as many years left to be able to experience these things as I do. So I want him to be able to shoot the bucks, shoot the, whatever targets that we're after. I want him to be able to do that. I love that.
And tell you the story, and then when you come up, hey, come on, Eric, get over here.
Right.
We got something. And he's going to tell you how we got it,
out.
And then you're going to follow blood, and he's going to be leading.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of neat. Like you said, if you got a younger or an older person following their blood, and you can kind of just step back and watch it and go, This is pretty damn cool.
It's pretty cool. That's
cool.
what it's all about. You know, everybody
cool.
wants to get to that final stage and like that part of the hunt. But it's just giving those opportunities and having the other people that you're with. You come back to camp and that's what everybody talks about. Yep. And yeah, I totally agree with you on that though. And it's not like I've even been doing it for that long. It's just that's what I really enjoy out of this whole thing and having that camaraderie, which we always talk about. We brought that up multiple times. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Camaraderie. That's the whole reason we all do this, right?
Right.
It's exactly what we're doing right now. BS and telling stories. The only way it gets better is if I'm not drinking coffee and we're up drinking some sort of bourbon or a beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never during, always after.
Right.
Speaking of that, though, I was telling a story to some people the other day about being up in Canada. We were talking about, I think we were doing a Facebook Live thing on my normal country morning show. We do it every day. We do like a half hour on Facebook while we're live on the air. And something about boating or being on a boat. I don't remember exactly how it came up, but someone commented something about like drinking on a boat. And I was like, fun fact, I actually don't drink while I'm out fishing on a boat. And I told the story about being up in Canada at Ballards, fishing with, Gary and those guys up there. I think it was the first year that I did a come-along trip up to Ballards. And these two guys came up. So the night before everybody heads out, we kind of have like a whole orientation period. So we get together, talk about boats, talk about gear, talk about game plan, talk about rules, kind of just set the stage for what the week's going to look like, what it's like fishing up there. And in Ontario, it's illegal to have alcohol on board of a boat.
Oh.
Well,
but not in Wisconsin?
No.
Okay.
It's still like drunk driving rule.
Right.
But like you can't even have alcohol on a boat up in Canada. Drunk driving is a felony in Canada. So rules just different up there. And so all the guys heard something about, I don't know if it was the next morning or during, was like, okay, well, before we head out to the boats, you can grab a cooler, pack it with some ice, whatever you need to get you through the morning and get you through the day, whatever. They filled this like little lunch pail cooler full of beers. And they're out there just kicking back, just sucking on beers, doing things. So finally one of the guys rolls up and is like, that's incredibly illegal. We're going to have to call this quits. The coolers, yes, you can fill the coolers with water, soda, other beverages, beer.
That's what was going to get them through the day.
We're going to have to call this quits.
Completely. And then the same first comments remind me never to go to Canada, which I'm like, no, that's. Growing up, it was always that way. The beer was around things, and early in my days, when I was 21, grab a couple, 6-pack, and we're going to head out fishing, whatever. I don't know where it changed for me. I don't know if it was when I started bass fishing and getting, you're not bringing beers on a boat, for a tournament. You get done with an 8-hour day, that's the best thing. As soon as you get the boats up on the trailer, you're all standing around the boat BSing, and someone cracks someone a cooler, hey, anyone need a beer? And you all stand around and have a beer and shoot the bull and tell the stories about, all the fish that you thought you should have had, how you swear you hooked a 7-pounder over there off that, wall. And, that's, the camaraderie and the fun. That's where I like the beers, not actually while I'm, partaking, so to speak.
Yeah, the stories afterwards.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, absolutely. It is. It's fun, and that's what it's about. But I still want. It's easy to talk about it when you have fish in your freezer, turkey breasts, and a nice deer already getting ready for the. And you got the tenderloins and the inners and the back straps cut up, and then you can watch someone else because I still love and enjoy everything about the game. I love eating it. We enjoy that, but. You're right. Now all of a sudden it's getting okay. I can feed my belly, but now I want to see other people enjoy themselves too.
Fun fact: I have no wild game in my freezer right now. No, I'm trying to think. Even fish, I have like a snapper and a redfish.
You have no venison in there?
I have no venison. I have no venison in my freezer right now. I have no fish that I've caught in my freezer right now.
Really?
I've eaten everything.
That's good
the
too.
Fall can't come soon enough.
Well, that's just it. I've got to get out and actually like fish or hunt or do something more. My fishing attempts through the ice were not. I had a horrible ice season. Even in some of my gimmies, I'm still. I don't know. Did I get too confident? Is what I'm starting to wonder because there's one specific area on one specific lake that it was a gimme. I could go out there. I could spend 2 hours, pluck from spot to spot. Kind of hole hop around. I could catch 10 decent-sized bluegills. Bam, I got a nice little bluegill fry, and I'm set to go. And I, would take my 6, 8, whatever that really, I'm not going to go for the full 10 and call it a day. This winter, I freaking struggled. I couldn't get on anything that was worth keeping out there. It was the struggle bus rolling through the fall, chasing after steelhead.
The struggle bus.
I could not seem to freaking catch a steelhead. I had a guy next to me, a couple times, and I don't know what it is.
Well, you guys were both down there, weren't you? You went down there too.
Yeah, not together.
Oh,
I
you
went
didn't go
down
together.
separately.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I went just a couple weeks ago. So I went down to one of the spots you told me about.
Did you? You hit one of my spots there?
Yeah. So, but I didn't catch anything. I had one that was splashing around out there, but boy, I was really looking forward to breaking out the old smoker for the first time this year and putting some salmon on there. But that didn't pan out.
It was really funny too. You mentioned that of one of those spots. Did you go to the one that was in? I'll keep referencing my YouTube. Was it in the second episode that I put up there? The secret downtown steelhead.
Yes.
Okay. If you watch back that episode, and I recently was watching, in one of the spots, you can see a fish literally jump behind me.
Oh, really?
And I thought to myself in the moment, I was like, how did I not notice that while I was actually there? But then I go back and watch the film, the damn thing jumps like right next to me.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even like have it like, and I cast out the wrong direction. So I'm doing my 45s, cast and, running the float and floating it by. I didn't even let it float far enough back to where that one must have been sitting in that hole and just came up and grabbed something.
Yeah.
And I watched back and I was like,
that's frustrating.
Damn it! Like, that's the
Yeah.
point. Like, I'm there. I'm right there. I'm in spots. Fish are there. Like, I half know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's how I felt though, because I was there for maybe 20 minutes or so, and then I saw it splash, and it was kind of pooling at the top, and I tried to keep getting it right there, and I must have cast it over it, downstream or upstream, let it swim down that way, and it never even.
That's why it's called fishing. Yeah. That's a great spot, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's such a great spot. It's because it's like you'd never know that you're in the heart of a freaking downtown metropolitan area.
Yeah.
And you're able to, brown trout and steelhead fish. It's really cool. I'm glad that I came across. I don't mention like it's a secret spot. I don't think it's really secret. I mean, people know that it's there, but
you don't advertise it because I wasn't invited to go.
No, we all just went on our own accord. So.
Hey, we got stuff on the smoker. Do you have anything to add? No, you didn't let me go.
Yeah, we'll have to do that as we start catching some stuff this year. We're gonna have to have a big cookout and whatever they call it, a beast feast. And,
what wild game feed or whatever.
Yeah, as we get a couple different things here pulled together and put in the freezer.
Can I jump topics real quick, just because I was thinking about water and stuff?
Totally, jump to
you are up there all the time. Why is Lake Winnebago and the Winnebago system shallow with water? It's a big topic. It's coming across that whole report, the Bago reports. Everybody's worried about it. Now, if you could just clarify one thing. Up in Neenah, there's a dam.
Yep.
The dam needs to be opened to let the water out, or it needs to be closed to let water in?
Well, water there will run from Winnebago north.
Oh, it will run north?
Yeah, think about it. That's the Fox River. The Fox River runs out into the Bay of Green Bay. The Bay of fun fact here. Glad you brought it up. The Fox River and what other river in the world are the only two rivers that flow north?
Oh, I know that one. Is it in the United States?
No.
Okay.
It's in South America.
Then I don't know.
The Nile.
My
Really?
God, I was going to say that. That was the only.
Is it what I know?
I
I thought it was a trick question because I played in Three Rivers Stadium, so I know those three rivers. I'm like, oh, now what are those names?
The Nile and the Fox River both run north. So yeah, the dam in Neenah is running from Winnebago northward. The Fox River flows north out to the Bay of Green Bay.
So that would be then you would need that dam shut.
You'd want the dam shut.
Shut. So it must be open now.
It must be of things. That whole Winnebago system, it fluctuates up and down so much. And
does the water fill? Can it fill rapidly? I mean, I don't know that. Like, if they decide to do something, will it be in
snowfall? Snowfall plays a huge part into the dam. Any situation where you open and close dams and stuff like that, and how much is there. I know we actually got more snow here and more stuff than they did up north this year, especially across the Fox Valley region there. So maybe that has something to do with water levels being low and it fluctuates back and forth. I know as far as the Bay of Green Bay, the water is up huge from where it was, but that had to do with there was a dredging situation in Lake Erie, which, again, Great Lakes, they all connect. You wouldn't think one lake, how many lakes away can mess everything up? There's a dredging situation the Army Corps of Engineers was working on that it wasn't right, and it caused the levels in the Bay of Green Bay and Lake Michigan to drop. So then they fixed that along with all the snowfall we had the last couple of years. Like, there's a spot up in the Door County, just south of Sturgeon Bay, that I spent so much time diver duck hunting. And we had, an amazing shore spot. Well, shore we'll call it. It was actually like a very small little island because of the way the water levels drop. this little kind of rock bar built up and some trees and stuff started growing on this little spot, and you could wade across. I mean, the water was waist deep, so you could walk from shore, wade across this waist deep, and get on this island. So you just get yourself out there just a little bit, and then it was a slow slope from there, so we could run all of our decoys out and stuff. It was a freaking awesome duck hunt. I mean, that was the one where we'd go out there and just hammer them up day after day, and had so much fun through the years. It's all gone. Yeah. It doesn't even exist. The water's up so high now. Just everything is desolate. Yeah, there's nothing on it. You can't even see it. You don't even if I know where that rock bar is, but if you were running in a boat, you could easily hit it. You'd never know that it's there if you're that close to shore anyway. Without having so. That's how the water could fluctuate in and around the Bay Area, and Winnebago would be the same thing. It'll go up and down a couple feet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a shallow freaking lake. Was it 26 feet is max depth?
I think that even might be generous.
Yeah, and that's at like high water, 26 feet. So I mean, it's a giant contact lens.
Yeah,
it's literally shaped like a giant contact lens.
Isn't that crazy though? Because you think about what a substantial piece of water that is inland for the state of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at the map, and that's like the first thing you see.
The average depth is 8 feet. 8 feet is the average depth of Lake Winnebago.
And that's crazy. Yeah, and with that shallow water, man, when the weather changes, that can be a killer. That's like Edmund Fitzgerald stuff. Winnebago can get pretty nasty.
I think we touched on that here on this show, even of how fast that body of water can change.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
within a matter of 10 minutes, one wind swing, and you are in a whole lot of trouble out there. Yeah. Speaking of Lake Winnebago, I saw somebody talking about something. I don't know where it was online, but talking about the walleye fishery there. And worrying about, what that looks like, of, how it's down, and this and that, and, kind of point blame at I'll call them the Joe Six-Packs. The guy, the accumulators, the guys that got to go out there day after day and just pound it and keep everything that, it says 12 inches, I'm keeping 12 inches. Oh, there's no size limit. No, I'm keeping that. It says I can keep 5 a day. I'm going to keep, and how that's kind of hurting the system. I'm curious if there's any actual research for that, and it'll be interesting to see where things shake out. Do you think, though, in this day and age, what we know about just general conservation and different lakes that have tried things, slots? I've been a huge slot person forever. That's how I have always lived. To me, a walleye, I'm only keeping walleyes between 14 and 17. If it's over 17, bye. In unpopular opinion of me, that's just how I am. When I've kept, bass, whoa, I said a dirty word. Oh, my gosh. By the way, black and smallmouth is fantastic. It basically may as well be a grouper. But it's not often, but every now and then it's like, I'm like, I'm going to snag me this 14-inch smallmouth. That's it. Anything, not going to keep, but it's like one. Are you surprised that we haven't just like statewide gone to a slot for like all species instead of just general, each lake having their own if they want to add a slot?
Yeah, I think that's interesting because you really have to be sure about all of the different bodies of waters that you're on. You always need to make sure, not that you don't think about that ahead of time, but with the restrictions and the regulations that change from different places that you're going, you need to be smart about that too. Mm-hmm. And so I will say that I kept my big walleye because I have it mounted on the wall. But that was a unique situation. And when we do our Erie trip, we're catching our limit. We're getting off the lake.
And that's
whatever that is.
Completely different situation. Yeah. A trophy, a one trophy to mount thing. Like, I'm never gonna and I don't ever mean to make it sound like I'm bagging on someone for not believing or not doing things the way that I do. Each their own. But I feel like there's a lot of research there that it actually helps. Like, I was so excited when one of the lakes that I fished that has northern in it, they were like, you could only keep 2, but they had to be over 32 inches. And I'm like, how many 25s, 26s you can catch there? Yeah. Those are the better eaters anyway. Slot that baby. And now, just this last year, they've changed to an 18 to 32 slot.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with, the lakes up north. So I'm up in the Sugar Camp, Eagle River area. Mm-hmm. You know what? Depending on the Indian harvest. So they were always done with that. So they're spearing. I was on Indian Lake up there, right between Eagle River and Highway 17, right out of Rhinelander and Sugar Camp. And, it depended. So then all of a sudden they threw a slot limit at the boat launch, but it wasn't determined until numbers were put in and these many fish got speared here, this Vilas County, this Oneida County. This is how we did it. So I guess if you just automatically go to a universal, But again, there's certain rules for certain individuals, and there's certain rules so it's kind of hard to determine. And I guess you can only go by the numbers that are taken. What's the harvest off of this lake? And then DNR earns their money and figures out what can be taken.
It's just crazy. I mean, I remember growing up fishing. It was just this species was, there was panfish. It was 25 panfish all accumulated together. Bass had to be, 14 inches. You could keep 5 or, 2 here. Northern pike, there was no limit, or in the south it was 2. So you remembered everything. And now, like, every lake has its own different stuff. Like, you literally have to have the regs or look at the regulations before you go to anywhere. And that's where I'm like, is there a point where we just, like, decide, let's make this easy again and just put in a standard? This is the way it is across the state, or at least across the north and across the south.
But I've seen them posted differently. They're different posts at every public boat launch.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're right. You have to check if it's not a universal or statewide.
Yeah, because and it's hard to even say that, similar to with some of the other territories that they do, like wolf hunt or, counties even or whatever. I mean, the bodies of waters that touch in different areas, they can all be so different. So it would be hard to just layer that out. My question is how accurate do you think those reportings actually are for, like, their estimates on fish? And that seems like it's always a mystery to me, in that they're just kind of doing a sample size and generalizing that to the entire bodies of water for wherever they're measuring those. You guys know any more about that? That's always such a mystery to me.
I don't know how those numbers are, but I've actually seen them where the booms come out and they electrocute.
Shocking and
shocking. Yeah, I've seen that. But you're right. So if I'm coming in this little area, who's to say that, we only got 4 walleyes out of this area, 8 to 12 inches. We got 1 walleye, 23 inches. Who's to say that 3 didn't run away? But how else can you do it? I mean, you got to say if I would say correction, is it 100%? No. Sure. Is it maybe 60, 70%? I would say, yeah.
It's like the duck counts. When they do the duck counts in South Dakota, and into Canada every year, or out west trying to count, how many
antelope.
Antelope and mountain goats. You know what I mean? Like there's a margin of error that they work in. I believe in science, so if scientists all get together and they figure the averages and this and that, and they figure out all their equations and figure, if I count this and put it into this equation, it pumps up this. I don't know. I guess I put more stock into that than some people.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I'm saying. I feel like after this long and there's enough research out there, they've kind of figured it out and
they've got to be
perfect.
pretty close.
Yeah, that's just it. Nothing's perfect, but
right.
I mean, you're somewhat close and can make an educated guesstimate.
Yes.
Well, no disrespect to weathermen, but you know what? Weathermen too. Sometimes you turn on the news and old Robbie walks up and he tells you what it's going to be tomorrow, and then you come out and it's raining instead of on the boat. So there's some science. I think you're right. I think that's the best way they can do it. Is it 100%? No. Is anything really 100%? No. But exactly, it gives us a fair count. Lets them know where they need to put their funds and how to use the fishery monies for here and where to stock. But yes, it's crazy.
Nothing's perfect. Like Wags pulling up and being able to shoot his bow in the range, and then when he actually gets a turkey in front of him, not being able to hit it.
Yeah, should have been doing the sit down shots like you were.
And I laughed at him. I laughed, but underneath, I'm like, this is I'm practicing the way I'm probably going to be. And I'm like,
I remember you grabbed a stool. So I think as soon as you saw me sit on the ground, you're like, what the? And then you reached over and grabbed a stool, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I should.
I should, and I didn't. And I didn't do it. I'm like, and then he's thumping turkeys. He's thumping birds. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, that's got me. No big deal. Turkeys, first thing I thought about that.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I learned. What did I learn from doing that? I learned you have to be conscious. Like on a stool, you're sitting on a stool, everything's pretty controlled, but branches, you have to be aware where everything is. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. When I sat and wasn't paying attention, I pulled up and I was focusing on my target and didn't realize that I'd kind of put my knee up to make myself more comfortable.
Yeah.
And what did I do? Limb my bow, smack the knee.
That's right.
And now I will never do that. I'm going to be conscious before I draw back of any branches, limbs, including my own limbs, of where they are, that doesn't happen. So, well, I hope you get a turkey one of your next seasons.
Yes.
You're not going to pass up on a big Jake, I'm sure, next time it walks in front of you.
He'll get one.
No, I got one guy coming out, so I'll send you pictures again this weekend. He's coming out Saturday morning. He has to work, so he's going to be out Saturday morning and should have good weather. And then again, it won't be. But if I get one, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm planning to head out at one point the weekend and scout the area that that I'm hoping to hit and see if I can hear any gobbles out there, see if I can see anything, and formulate if whether I am.
You have 4, so you have season 4.
Yep. So I'm this coming week. So I'm taking off Thursday, Friday to hunt Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Hopefully not needing all 3 days, but who knows me? I'm probably going to need all of the days that I have. I got a backup place I think I might be able to go to. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's
you can always just go out every day too.
I can always just bring my bow right here and wait for the turkeys
Is
to
he
walk
still
across the
coming
field
by?
and try and plug one of these.
Yeah, I keep seeing all those birds flying around out there. I keep thinking it's going to be a turkey that's walking up.
They haven't got as close as a couple of weeks ago. They were just outside this window of the studio. Last week, though, when you weren't here, Wags, Tasker and I were in and doing our thing. One of them just walked right across just at the grass line.
Really?
But, I mean,
Tom or a hen?
It was a Jake.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and that's what 40 yards. I mean, I can pop out the door next to the studio here and pluck it. I'm sure. I think it's frowned upon in.
I think it is too, but
especially under radio towers. Like I feel like there's something that might not be good about that.
I did see one. If you saw one of the pictures I sent you, one of my Toms had a smaller beard. So I asked around, and maybe I didn't tell you this or I didn't talk to you about it. He wasn't a Jake. And the guy that I talked to, it was a Germantown guy, told me that sometimes during the winter through ice and stuff, it's called beard rot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was walking with, and I was looking and I'm like, maybe he had a bigger one pinned. Maybe was that him? And no, it wasn't. It was short, but not a Jake. He was about a 4 or 5 incher. And then he was walking with a nice one. And I made sure that he wasn't the double bearder. They were both walking together. I'm like, why would this guy, not a younger one? And he told me that, I don't know exactly, but it's probably a situation of beard rot. And I'd never heard that before. Mm-hmm. Ice freezes it or.
Yeah.
Well, my buddy that shot that bird was talking about earlier yesterday, he had sent me a picture too of the tail fan. He's like, do you know why this would be like this? Like, it's all beautiful. But then as you open up the fan there are 2 middle feathers towards the back. They were almost getting white V's, white stripes in it. I told him it's just like any species. I think it's just the graying. It's an older bird, much like we gray as we get older, or any species. Like think of geese, they get the gray eyebrow. Really old goose, you ever seen one that they literally have it looks like a unibrow right across their forehead?
Yeah.
Those are the older big Canadas. They'll get the gray eyebrow. Mm-hmm. And I'd point out, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I mean, all species go through that graying. So you just when the turkey's puffed up, you don't see it, but it was kind of hidden right toward, really where it touches his butt, essentially. That's where it's starting to turn, grayish. I
never put that. Common. Yeah, it makes sense 100%. I never, the aging process of animals and graying, I never thought of that. Like that goose, I've seen that before, but I didn't. Okay, he's a 5-year-old. What does his band say? Oh, he was banded in 2010. Oh, really? Well, I don't have that. So I'm looking. I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of neat. I didn't. You never. I never thought of it that way. Right. It makes common sense.
They show the picture. You can get a look at it and see.
Oh yeah.
See how everything else is the brown around, but it's just getting some of those white.
That's cool. That's all that character neat. Too.
Yeah.
Did he fan them out, put the salt on them, and
I'm sure that's what Jason's going to be doing with it. So yeah, I love talking with him because birders. We talk about different outdoor hobbies and different outdoor things. Birding became huge during the pandemic too. I mean, Jason's been doing it for years. He's been a big bird photographer, but a lot of more people are getting into it. But it's fun to talk to those people. If you know someone that's a birder and into birding specifically, ducks, geese, turkeys, things. Those are some of the most useful people that you can talk to. You can learn so much because they're literally observing these birds day after day.
Yep.
And just bring up the whitehead thing. That's all stuff that he had picked up just from watching these birds and taking pictures of them and stuff for weeks on end. So there's the little nugget of advice. If you know a birder, don't look at someone who's posting and talking about doing birding and be like, oh, you just take pictures of birds. Those are the people that you need to be talking to because they've got the real intel. You don't know crap compared to them. So.
All right.
That's where we're going to wrap it up here for the show. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. You can check out some of the previous episodes we've had. Great chat that I had actually last week with my man Brian Keller, who owns the Real Shot in Appleton, but more importantly, he's the mastermind and heads behind Head-to-Head Fishing, a new fishing format that puts angler against angler on secret lakes, and it's all live streamed. It's 5 hours instead of 8. It's a very crowd and audience interacted fishing. It's like taking what you may love about fishing and what you also may love about like football, basketball, baseball, and putting it together in one just amazing it's something really cool. I suggest, if you've never heard of head-to-head fishing, go back and check out that episode. It was just last week that was up here on Tailgate Talk. It's about head-to-head fishing with my man Brian Keller. I am host Sean Ritter for Wags and Tasker. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much. Till the next time, have a very safe and successful week.